Good morning, good morning. Here we go. I have a pretty stout list of more established video ideas that I think I am going to explore next year. I'm thinking maybe the goal for next year will be to upload a video for every week of 2025. So this year was 365, upload a video every day of 2024. If I can do that, then surely I can do every week of 2025. And I will probably continue to make these car videos, but it will be more as a supplemental thing for the 2025 videos, which should be much more edited than their counterparts, or than these, I should say. It's been a good run, and I'm talking about it as if it's over. I've still got the better half of the year to get through. September, October, November, December. I've still got the last quarter, because my upload schedule is all the way up to September now. And I'm going to record this video here on the way to work, and I'll record the video on the way home, and then I've got a bonus video this weekend of me making up a brisket that I've been talking to you guys about. And then I would really like to be able to start filming the high concept, better edited videos starting as early as any weekend, really, because a lot of them are not dependent upon current times and current events. They're dependent on me telling my life's stories. And I think one of the more interesting things that I continue to run into is my lack of a niche. I really don't have one in the grand scheme of things, and that is honestly probably what's keeping me from succeeding on YouTube in the traditional sense. It is difficult for me because I have so many interests, and I'm sure people on YouTube who niche down really well also have multiple interests. But it is difficult for me as someone with multiple interests to only talk about one thing for an extended period of time. But the other thing that bothers me is that I almost have to borrow off of the success of something else. Once upon a time, maybe 2 years ago, I started this channel more so as a Life is Strange video channel, and I just talked about Life is Strange, and that was the concept. And I got a decent amount of views on those videos. They weren't like the most successful thing that I've ever done, but like by comparison, they're by and large more successful than these videos have been. And so the interesting thing for me has been, now that there's a new Life is Strange coming out, I cover content on it every now and again. And those videos still consistently do really well. And my channel probably is very confusing for the algorithm, because on one day I'm uploading a Life is Strange related video, and then on the next day I'm talking about whatever's on my mind. There is no consistent niche, no consistent topic. Like, the consistency is me. I am the consistency. And unfortunately, until I become a celebrity, me being the consistent topic isn't something that's going to be overly interesting to people. And so what would be the sensible thing to do would be to then develop a niche. And if narrative-driven games is going to be my niche, then to really buckle down and make that happen. I feel like with the future videos I aim to create, I feel like I would be more of like a life coach than anything. And I don't know if life coaching is a niche or not, but I think of like there is other people on YouTube who make similar videos to what I hope to create. And I'm really hoping that I can create these videos and have a better rapport and a better conversation with these people and kind of imitate what they're doing, but in my own way, because I think the integral idea of what these future videos are is storytelling. Like, I am going to be a life coach and coaching people into the life that I have acquired and telling them the stories that got me there. And I think that I am more natural when telling a story than I am when just talking to the camera, for example. And so, because like the other thing is, it's a story, it's something I lived, it's something I experienced. I don't necessarily need a script to recite to you all the stories that I have lived. And that's always been a big thing for me on this particular channel, is I like to do unscripted things. I like for them to feel like it's just coming naturally, coming to my mind, and this is what I'm talking about. And unfortunately what that means is I have a lot of videos where I'm just sitting in my car, not really saying anything or not really talking about anything, because I don't have something fresh on my mind, or there's something else on my mind that's weighing it down so heavily that I can't get away from it and talk about something else. And those days, those videos are definitely disappointing, but they are worth it when you consider the amount of fire that I can put into a video. Like today, for example, I feel like I'm able to hold a conversation and keep things going with you for a long and more deliberate point of time than previously I have been able to do. But all that is to say that this next round of videos, and it's wild to think that it's already August of 24, and it's perhaps even wilder to think that I'm already thinking about what I'm going to be doing in 2025. But the idea will be that more than likely, at least by November, if not sooner, I will be done with this project, and I'll have to start looking towards what is next. And I think the idea of doing a video a day was a hellacious challenge that I am very proud to have been able to accomplish and be able to make that my reality. But it is not sustainable if success on YouTube is what you're going for, unless, like I said, unless I were already a personality. If I were Michael Jordan, just making videos in his car, there is a lot of diehard Michael Jordan fans that will watch those videos just because it's Michael Jordan in a car. Now, granted, Michael Jordan playing basketball will probably always get more views than Michael Jordan in a car, because there's more fans of basketball than there is just of Michael Jordan. And so, but like, all that is to say, if I could amass an audience of people who are willing to watch me do boring things in a car, imagine what they'd be willing to watch me do when I'm actually putting effort into content. I certainly have not garnered that level of attention yet. I'm not convinced that the 6 views that I average are probably just 6 people who know who I am and are kind enough to click on my videos when they feel like it, and thank you for those 6 people. But as educational and as beneficial and as good feeling as it's been to be able to make these videos, I do think it's time to pull up the big boy pants and try and get something consistent that is going to work better with the content that I aim to create and with the content that YouTube wants people to create. I think that's another very big conversation point, is that you really ought to make videos that YouTube wants you to make, especially if you want to be successful in that business. I make the comparison to YouTube and to real world working quite frequently. But like, if you're trying to work your way up in a company, chances are you're not going to play by your own rules and do your own thing and ignore what the company wants you to do. You're going to go out of your way to shine and to make the company look good so that you can move up in the world. And it's very much so the same thing with YouTube. If you're a YouTuber who's just kind of doing his own thing and putting stuff on YouTube for the sake of putting stuff on YouTube, then you will not succeed, because you're not following what the company or YouTube wants you to do. And it's very much so the same thing. I always say the biggest difference between YouTube and a company is a company will pay you to be at entry level, whereas YouTube will not. YouTube will not pay you until they see that you are worth being paid. And a company is obligated to pay you, but they're not going to pay you what you want to get paid until you prove to them that you're worth getting paid that much. And so it's the same concepts, but different in approach. And because even YouTube will pay you in theory better than a traditional employer but you have to prove to them that you're worthy of that payment, of what it is you're bringing in. And so it's interesting. It seems to be the 7 to 8 year mark is the magic mark for people's success. I still don't know that I would say that I have taken anything, whether it be from writing or from cartoons or anything from that matter, very seriously until 2020 at the very earliest. That was when I wrote my first book. But I haven't been very serious about YouTube or Compression Man or trying to advertise my writing until closer to just this year, honestly. And so if I say that, and it's weird that it's the 7 year mark that everybody says that's when you hit your success, because it seems to be accurate. I got my first major promotion within the organization that I work right around the 7 year mark. And so maybe there is something to be said about the rule of sevens. I feel like that is like a term. I don't know what it means, or whether or not it's relevant or dirty or inappropriate, but I feel like there's something to be said there. There's another YouTuber that I know, and I mean, in the grand scheme of things, he is slow compared to other people that I've seen, but he just hit 400,000 subscribers, which is a huge monument to make. It's a huge moment to make. And he said that he's about to hit his 8th year on YouTube. And so it's just interesting seeing these people making these big milestones and how long abouts they're doing it. When I was really attacking the whole book thing, and that was going to be my future. That was what I was going to do. I was going to be a writer, and I'm still writing. I'm not ever probably going to stop telling stories. I just don't know that is where I'm going to focus my effort in trying to succeed anymore. But I would follow the teachings of Brandon Sanderson pretty closely, and I think the world of the guy. It's ironic, I've never read a word that he has written on a page, but I have watched tons of his education videos and and it just really clicked with me, a lot of the things that he was saying. But he said that he had written 7 books before he finally sold one to a publisher, and then it all just kind of took off from there. And so his word of advice has always been consistency. He's like, just keep after it, keep going, and eventually things will work out. And when they do, if you're already primed and ready for success, and you've already got a backlog of books or a backlog of whatever, then success will find you and it will feel good. And I feel the very same way about Compression Man. It's a fun, entertaining little cartoon right now, but it's going to be hard for people to invest in it because there's only 2 episodes out. I'm about to release the 3rd, but if I apply the whole 7-year success range to Compression Man, if I can average, I think I was saying I was averaging 5 episodes a year. So at that rate, in 7 years, it'd be 30 some odd episodes that I would have. Is that more binge-worthy than, well, it's certainly more binge-worthy than 3. Yeah, I can say that much. It's literally 10 times the amount of episodes. But they're all shorts. They're not very long. And I'll probably slap together some marathons here and there to put up for people to watch. And so when you consider all of those things, at what point in time does the backlog become enough to promote success? Because right now, if a fan were to find Compression Man, they would find it and they would watch the 2 episodes that I have, and then they'd be like, well, that was fun, I guess I'll move on to something else. And then you hope that they re-find it later on. The thing to really try and capture, especially with animated material, is children, because children don't care if they've seen something already. They will watch it over and over and over and over again. And your kids kids in general, will be the ones to fuel your success at that point, because parents are just anxious to occupy their children so that they can cook dinner or do whatever it is they're trying to do. And so in the event that is what they're doing, they're just cranking up your watch time and they're just cranking up your views, and that's awesome if you can get in there. I didn't want Compression Man to be geared specifically to children, but it is a younger audience show. There's no foul language in it. If the only thing that I could see parents being upset by is the violence. It's Looney Tunes cartoon level violence. It's not anything that I would not have been allowed to watch as a kid, but times have changed and violence is viewed differently now than it was back then, and as such, I don't know if people will receive it the way that I hope that they do or not. But that is a challenge for another day, something to face for tomorrow. I appreciate all of your time, and I thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.